Yo, you are now tuned in to SECZN Live Lunch Breaks. SEC content on your lunch break. I got my guy with me, DC Wolf in the building. DC, how you doing, man? Uh-oh, he went away.
Like we doing it again. I tried another link, man. So we're gonna see how this works today.
Okay.
Tried
Okay.
another engine. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how it works.
Okay. Cool. All right,
Everything's
guys,
good,
man. How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing out there?
We awesome.
Giving people a little time to file on in, man, while we
Yes, sir.
get into it. Man. So while we doing that, man, how you doing, DC?
Man, good, man. I was
How's that
out,
thing been going?
Great, bro. I was out,
Mhm.
getting my lunch together, man. And I was just like, I'm gonna do a blizzard from Dairy Queen. I'm gonna do a blizzard, and I'm gonna do the onion rings. That's all I wanted, blizzard and onion rings. And my brother was on the phone
Okay.
with me, and he was saying, bro, man, why would you do that when you could just get the whole meal for $7.99 as a value meal and the blizzard too? I'm like,
Yes, it's very true.
okay. So I hit him with that, and then the dude was just like, you still want the onion rings, so got the onion rings too, man. Now I'm overloaded, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to the Baron of Benville, my brother Stan Howard, Stan, the Tennessee fan, man. He hit me to the $7.99 value meal at Dairy Queen, man. Brought to you by Dairy Queen, which man, hey, if it's any sponsors out there, any food place, any place, man, want to sponsor this show, man, this segment, this is a great sponsorship at that opportunity, man. Lunch breaks, man. Dairy Queen.
Yeah, lunch breaks, man.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. What DC said. Oh man. So hey, yes, your brother's a smart man. He
Yeah,
can save you some
yeah.
money. You know what I
He
mean?
did.
And got you a full spread of food right there. Did
Yeah.
they turn your blizzard upside down?
He asked me the same thing, bro. They turned it upside. I ain't gonna turn it upside down because it's kind of maybe I got.
Yeah, it's probably too late for that.
Out. Yeah, man. But homie, he turned that guy upside down, and I'm like, hey, you know what I'm saying? That's what my brother asked me. He was like, okay, that's the real deal. He turned it upside down. So is it?
Yeah,
If they don't turn it upside down, you get it free, right? I think it's
I
something. Like
think
that.
so.
Yeah.
Well, it's something like that. I never had them not do it.
Yeah. I think
My
it's
Dairy
free
Queen experiences, they are perfect. Like
Yeah,
every
man.
single
Perfect,
time,
bro.
because I be watching.
Yeah.
Yeah,
your
they do it every
ASMR
single
moment. There you go.
time.
For your ASMR people.
Oh man. All right. So guys, I do want to tell you, I was telling DC off air, man, like I am rearranging my whole little setup right here. So you might be able to not tell it, you might not be able to tell the difference, but I can. Stuff is everywhere. Like these
Mhm.
headphones, they're plugged up way over here. So I can't
My
really move
God.
around. So
My God. Wow.
I picked the wrong time to do that. But
Mm-hmm.
we're here on lunch breaks, man. We're gonna make it happen. So
That's what's up.
this should be an interesting topic, guys. This
Mhm.
should be a very interesting topic today. What we're talking about is spring hype versus fall reality.
Mhm.
And there's a couple for it. Is it all a dream? Now I know that the lyric is I know that's not what
All a dream.
I know it was all a dream, but
Mhm.
I'm asking the question, is it all a dream? We see those spring hype videos going around, man. We see it all. You log on to Twitter, you log on to YouTube, you log on to whatever your social media platform of choice is. You're gonna
Mhm.
see some spring hype videos. You're gonna see some
Mhm.
amazing catches.
Mhm.
You're gonna see some interviews with some kids. You're gonna see some interviews with coaches. You're gonna see media pundits talking about it. We
Mhm.
always feel good in the spring, DC. We always
We
feel
do.
good.
We do, man.
I don't typically see any fan bases that are like, no, this spring stuff.
Mhm.
It's just not. Everybody's confident in their team in the spring,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about that
Okay.
during this
Everybody,
episode.
everybody going 10-0 in this part of the season, man.
Oh yeah, oh
Everybody.
yeah. We're all
Everybody. We're
stars,
going to
man.
the national championship.
Yeah, everybody's confident, man. Everybody's
Mhm.
confident during that time. So that's cool. So let's take a look in the chat real quick, man.
Let's do
See
it.
who we got here checking in with us.
Let's do
We
it.
got my guy, Kid Country. What's going on, man?
Yeah.
You
What's
on the grill
up?
today, kid? He started early. Like he
Yeah. Yeah.
He put that meat on the grill early in the day.
What time you start, kid? What time you start that grill up, man? What time you start cooking in the morning for the
I
restaurant?
can't hear you, DC. Is it me or the hold on.
What? You can't hear
No,
me?
no, no, no.
You pulled it out.
It
You
was
pulled
me.
a. Okay.
Yeah,
Come
I
on.
told you
Come
they
on, man.
plugged up.
You need to stitch your Tez. You know what I'm saying? While Tez is doing that, man, my wife made me this refreshing
All right.
cooler. You know what I'm saying? Tez, I'm just taking over the show while you doing that. My wife made me this refreshing cooler, man. It is made with coconut milk and cran strawberry. She get it from
Ah,
Starbucks, but it's so expensive. She just like got a hack and doing it herself. It's pretty good, man. So
okay. I thought you had
shout
got that
out
from
to her.
Dairy Queen, man. I thought
Not
that was
this
like
one.
a new menu item that they had. I didn't know.
No, man, this is homegrown, man. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to get slapped after the show for,
Yeah,
talking
you
about
don't
Dairy
want to
Queen
give
stuff.
nobody else.
I don't want to get
Don't want to give
into
her credit away, man.
altercations. Yeah. I'm
For
sorry.
sure.
You straight? I'll just do the intermission. You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. It's just we gonna have to deal with it.
Okay.
um,
Let's go.
so yeah, we got Ant, the insider, my favorite insider in the building, man. How you doing?
Okay.
How you
What's up,
doing,
man?
Ant?
What's up, man?
And on that road, man, where you at? And
We
yeah,
good,
when you
man.
come in, you gotta tell us what you eating for lunch, man. You see DC spread what he's got. I'm working on one of these little huggies.
What? Come on,
Yeah.
man. Come on,
It's
man.
refreshing, man.
Come on, man. The kid not gonna have no snacks when you come back, man. Come on, man.
She's not,
Come on, man.
but she's not.
She not gonna have no snacks, man. Come
But
on, man.
it's
She
refreshing,
gonna have
man.
to
It's
eat a
very.
steak or something, bro. She not gonna have no kitty food, bro.
Man, she don't really do kitty food. To be honest with you,
That's what's up.
she take a steak.
That's what's up, man.
uh, He said they didn't want us own kid. Oh no, that's not it at all, man. I shoot y'all
Ain't
the
it,
link
man?
y'all want to stop through for sure.
That ain't it, man. That ain't it, man.
And then we got it's my wife, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, the boss in the house.
Everybody, absolutely. So everybody be on your best behavior.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And wish her happy birthday. Her birthday was yesterday, man. We had a
Happy
great time.
birthday.
Yeah, it had a fun time, man. She enjoyed it. So
What's up,
happy
man?
birthday to you again, man. So
That's what's up. Happy birthday.
uh
Happy birthday, Miss Tez.
that's Miss Tez. She's not gonna like that.
I know. I know.
Oh, that's funny. Uh And saying the interview with Takeo and oh yeah,
Takeo?
Takeo and X. Yeah. I didn't get a chance to watch that one, but I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Okay.
Kid saying, man, he's grill not smoking today, but it'll be smoking
What?
tomorrow. Fired up
Okay.
around 7 a.m. Okay.
Ooh.
So around 7 a.m., man, he gonna be on that grill. So that means, I'm pretty sure he got good food today, even though the grill not on.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want that grilled food, make sure you go over there to Adeline's tomorrow,
Yep.
today, whenever, man. You're gonna get some good food out there, what I promise you. So he headed to H-Town, good and hot. Yeah, man.
That's what's up, man.
And he saying happy belated to the missus, said the March babies are the best. Yeah, she thinks so too.
Hey, bro,
Yeah,
I'm
she
a
share
March
that
baby
same
too, man.
sentiment.
I'm a March baby too.
Oh, okay. When your birthday,
Yeah.
DC?
Today! Happy birthday! Today.
Are you serious?
Yeah, today my birthday, bro.
Oh man, well happy
Me
birthday
and
to
your wife
DC,
good
man.
people, bro. Me and your wife good people, bro. You know what I'm
You didn't tell
saying?
me, man. I
You
would
know
have
what I'm
had
saying?
some balloons and everybody wish
That's
DC a
what's
happy
up, man.
birthday. And we gonna
Appreciate
make
it.
sure throughout the show that we recognize that, man.
Yeah.
That's why you got the extra drink with
No,
your
man. No, I just got it for the show, man. I just got it for the show for the people, man. They deserve it.
She's saying thank you, man,
Yeah.
to you guys for wishing her happy birthday.
Bro, she
Mm,
rocking two computers on you, bro. That's support right there. That's what I'm talking about.
yeah, man.
She rocking
Man, we gotta make
two.
it happen, you know?
Golly, that's
We
what
gotta
I'm
do
talking
make it
about.
happen.
That's support right there.
Remember that last episode we had about working hard?
Yeah,
And taking
man.
shortcuts?
Take a
Gotta try to make it happen any way you
That's
can.
right, man. Yeah,
All right,
man.
man,
Just
let's do
keep.
a little housekeeping so we can get in this conversation, man, because this is gonna be an interesting one, man, for sure.
Okay.
So of course today's episode is it is it all a dream? I know that the lyric is it was all a dream, but I am asking the question, is it all a dream? We're talking about spring practice today. Is it just, reality? How do you feel about spring practice? We're gonna take a look at that. Also we got the SECZN hoodies. They are available, producing sold by the lady in the chat, ICR Designs, right?
Mhm.
So hit her up.
Yeah.
Go over there on the website, icrdesigns.com. and check out everything on there. Don't of course, grab your SECZN hoodie and check out that, but check out everything else, man. Now the gold chains are sold separately. You probably not gonna find them on the website, but
Mhm.
you got to provide that yourself. But yeah,
Yeah.
check out everything in that. Check out everything on there, and we got some summer clothes. I think we got to do some t-shirts, man. Those hoodies, even though you see the kids in hoodies
For
year
real though.
round, it could be like
How,
107 degrees
yeah.
outside.
How?
But
That's
man,
what
I have no idea.
that's
I
what
have
that
no idea.
we question that all the time.
But if you're an adult, yeah, we got some short sleeve stuff coming. So,
Saw a dude yesterday
um,
with a hoodie on and a hat. But go ahead. Dang.
right, like all these guys on the picture.
Mhm. Yeah. No, he had on like a hat, like a winter hat, like a
Oh,
skull
okay.
cap, like
Oh, nah, yeah,
and a
wow.
hoodie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a little warm for that
Yeah.
yesterday. Um, man, but, so, also, you guys, you wanna this evening, 6:30 Central Standard Time, you wanna check out Heat Check with Marcus Fitzpatrick over Around the Cooler at Water
Mhm.
Cooler Talk Sports Network. Uh,
Mhm.
he will be taking the temperature of
Man.
the SEC, man. Doing good
Yeah.
work over there, man, so make sure you
Yeah.
guys, after you get done with us, you know, go have your little family time and reserve a spot. 6:30 Central
Yep.
Standard Time, 7:30 Eastern Time, at SE and check out SEC Heat Check over there on Water
Mhm.
Cooler Talks Sports Network. It's the network
Yes, sir.
now. Uh,
That's what's up, man.
make sure you guys are checking that out. That is awesome. And the guys already in the chat, man. By all means, if you are in Andalusia, Alabama, or if you're around the area, and even if you're not, grab the family, go take a day trip down to Adelines by my guy Chef Country, where we do it right. Uh,
Mhm.
listen,
Mhm.
ribs on the grill on the picture look great, so you know they look great in person.
Yes,
And he
sir.
telling
Yes,
you in the
sir.
chat, man, he's starting
Mhm.
7 a.m. tomorrow,
Mhm.
getting that thing smoking. So,
Yes,
hey,
sir. Yes,
if
sir.
if that's your type of eating, and it is mine, man, pay him a
Mhm.
visit, man. Pay him a visit.
Mhm.
Take 5 is still available, guys. All you gotta do is submit a 5-second video to the email address that is in the upper right-hand corner at it's SE Season, info at it's SE Season. And you can be on the show, without being on the show, but you can be on the
Mhm.
show. If
Mhm.
you want to be on the show, but you never really wanted to be on the live, but you kind of want your voice heard. Yeah, this is the perfect way to do that. Trust me, you can say a lot in 5 seconds. And this is no filters, man. So whatever you want to say, this is your moment to say that. And lastly, if you guys checked out the last episode, so we're gonna talk about this for a second. But first, a word from the keyboard collective. There you have it, man. Take play to take advantage of all these things. You have to be subscribed. That buys you a membership into the Keyboard Collective, where your comments are the currency. So if you want to donate to the name, image, and likeness of SECs in here, just drop a comment in the chat. That's the easiest way to do that. Um, so DC, man, before we actually slam the brakes on this thing, man, we like to review some things that we talked about.
Okay.
Uh, let's take a look at what we had on the last episode of
Okay.
SE Season Live, just in case the people missed that. If you missed
Cool.
that, this is what we did. We did week 2 projections. We're going week by week over there, and we're
Mhm.
taking your comments, your votes, and we're compiling what is called the SE Season Index uh, to determine how we think these games are gonna go. We're gonna compare that in the regular season to how they actually go, and we're gonna compare that
Mhm.
to all of the professionals, the
Mhm.
ESPNs, indexes, and these media pundits, and other popular people. We're gonna compare what we know against them because I feel like the fans know football better than the professionals. So we're gonna prove that. And if you want to prove that, All you gotta do is subscribe, man, and make sure you tuning in to SECZN Live on Tuesday nights, 6:30 PM Central Standard Time. Have your voice heard, so that we have some numbers, some metrics. We gonna compile them all, and we going against the machine there, DC. But this is what we came up with, man. Week
Okay.
2 projections. These are the week 2 games.
Okay.
Looks like everybody's got the SEC doing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
You got that one loss at
Mm-hmm.
saying Ohio State is gonna beat Texas. Um,
Man, really?
yeah, and the only SEC on SEC crime we had one SEC game, that was Alabama, versus Kentucky. Alabama took that one with
Are you kidding
55.56%.
me?
I mean, razor thin margin on that
Wow,
one.
man. Wow,
What do you think about this chart, man? Any initial
man,
thoughts? And y'all in the chat, take a look at this chart, man. And tell me guys what you think about this. Any of these stick out to you?
man. Yeah, the Alabama, Kentucky. Y'all saying Alabama gonna barely beat Kentucky, man? Wow. That
Yeah.
that's
I think that Kentucky's gonna win that
crazy.
game. But
Really?
that's just me.
Okay, expound, please, man. Expound on this one. Come on, man. Bring the heat on this one. Good
um
Lord, really?
But I understand why it's a 50-50 split. I think, that's game 2,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
Kentucky, has brought in the number 2 transfer portal class in the SEC,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they're getting talent. Defensively, the front seven, they weren't bad last year.
Okay.
Uh, Now they bring in, Will Stein. One could expect that offense to get a little bit better. Also, Kroger Field is just traditionally a really, really tough to play. Last year,
Mm-hmm.
they had Georgia out there on life support. Uh, I think the year before LSU struggled out there. It's just a tough environment to play. I expect that to be a night game. And also the way that the schedule sets up for Alabama, the very next game that they have is Florida State. And I know that's a game that they got circled. So I think this Kentucky game is a very, very easy game to overlook. One, because it's Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I think that's a trap game if I ever seen one, especially so early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
With both teams trying to establish some sort of identity. Um, 2 years in, we know what I think we're gonna see from Alabama. We
Okay.
say, "Hey, man, they need to run the ball." I don't think they're gonna run the football.
Me
I
either,
just
man.
don't. I don't
Me
think they're
either.
gonna put any effort into actually turning around and handing it off. I think the only reason you saw the run game in the first season of Kalen DeBoer's tenure is because, you had he had, Jalen Milroe there,
Mm-hmm.
and if you didn't run Jalen Milroe, you probably end up getting fired in 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
Absolutely.
man, I just think with the current game plan that they have, um, no true receiver one really.
Mm-hmm.
Could be Ryan Williams, but he didn't perform like it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Ty Simpson, I'm very high on as a quarterback. What do you replace him with? Can that person be Ty Simpson? Can they succeed like that with no running game?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, I just think there's a lot of question marks for Alabama going into that game, and it's just,
Okay.
that's not an environment where you want to walk into it with all those question marks. So for that
Mm-hmm.
reason, I pick Kentucky.
Okay.
Uh,
Wow.
I don't know. Is that
I
a good
hope it
enough?
happen. I hope it happen, bro.
Say, I hope it happens.
Man, I hope it happen, man. I really do. The question with me is can Stein bring the same atmosphere that the Stoops guy, because he's not the coach anymore. So that was a part of his culture, and maybe it's still, remnants of that culture is still there. And then it's gonna be a hard place to play. They play hard nosed defense, man. So that was a Stoops, type of culture. That was his,
Right.
you
I
know.
can see that.
So I wonder if he's gonna have to be able to bring that same type of intensity that he brings in the same atmosphere. We'll see, man. And the remnants
Yeah.
probably be the second game. That it'll still be some things in place as far as culture is concerned. But yeah, that's a good explanation. I think the SEC still goes undefeated in week 1 and week 2. I
Okay.
think
Well,
see,
well,
that game is in
the
that game is
Alabama
in Texas, right? Or is
Kentucky
it?
game, somebody has to. Yeah.
Sure.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
SEC's gonna lose that
Yeah.
one. But
For sure. Texas, Oklahoma. Is that
yeah.
neutral site or in Texas? That game was in
That's in
Oklahoma
Austin.
last year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in
Yeah.
Austin.
Yeah. I think Texas wins that game, man. So
Okay. Okay.
aside from that,
Yeah.
UK game, I think the SEC goes the second weekend is flawless. Aside from maybe
Mm,
Kentucky or Alabama.
okay. Yeah. I mean, it was some close ones on there.
Mm-hmm.
You looking at that Utah game at Utah,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Arkansas at Utah. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas was pretty bad last year. Utah
Mm-hmm.
loses Kyle Willingham.
Yeah.
So, we don't know how that one's gonna go. I understand the
Mm.
the thin margin there. In that Oklahoma and Michigan game, Oklahoma at Michigan, only 62% of
Ooh.
people thought that Oklahoma could win that game.
Ooh.
Going into the
Ooh.
big house, week 2, I
Yeah.
think I voted for
Ooh.
Oklahoma in this game, but make no mistake about it, that's a game that's circled on both of their schedules, so that one's gonna
Ooh.
be must-see
Yeah, that
TV.
one. Yeah, that one in the Utah game. I agree with those, man. I agree with those.
Mhm.
Utah could win that game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Michigan coach Cal took some things from Utah though, so that might help Arkansas. He took some
Maybe.
players, took some coaches, so that might help them a little bit. But Arkansas is starting all over again too, going on the road to a tough environment to play in. So yeah, I could see where scenario where Utah could win that game.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you like this, if Sam Pittman was still there, I'd
Mm-hmm.
probably take Arkansas in this game.
Okay. Okay.
If
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
still had Sam Pittman and, Petrino,
Mm-hmm.
I would take Ark because I think that they're just a defense away from being
Mm-hmm.
a pretty decent
Mm-hmm.
football team.
Mm-hmm.
But with Silverfield coming in, I don't know how much of that actually transfers. Like this is probably gonna be a completely different Arkansas team from what we
Sure.
saw
Sure.
last year. And Arkansas had one of the top offenses in the conference, in the
They did.
country.
They did.
So does he retain that level of productivity offensively? And can he bring some defense in there? That's what makes that game a tricky one for me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like I said, if it were still the old regime, I would take Arkansas in that game.
Sure.
As bad as they were last year, I still would.
Did Bobby Petrino land on his feet? Honestly, man, how do you like? And I know you want to bring in your own guys, but how do you? He had like the number one, maybe I know a top 3 offense in the SEC, maybe the number 1 offense in the SEC. It was a top
Yeah.
offense. So, like, how does he not get retained? And then how, if he didn't land on his feet, how does he not land on his feet, man? The guy's a good offensive coordinator. You got to give it to him.
Yeah. Uh, Guys, he is a good offensive coordinator. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that probably don't like him.
Okay. All right.
Uh,
Okay.
and in coaching,
Mhm.
as with anything, man, personal feelings can get in the way of a good thing. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? So
Absolutely.
I think we may have a lot of that going on. Hey, we got one at Auburn. DJ Durkin is
Mm-hmm.
there. One of those people where he's a
Mm-hmm.
great coach, but then there's a lot of people that just won't touch him because of
Got you.
personal feelings, right?
Got you. Got you. Got
So
you. But
I
that
don't
was
know,
that
man.
was
But that's a great question.
smart in retaining him the same way. You know what I'm saying? That was
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That was one of the biggest things. That was one of the biggest things of why we're high on goal this right now.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause presumably that defense is going to take another step from what they were last year. They were amazing last year.
Mm-hmm.
You retain the maestro of that,
Mm-hmm.
and you expect it to be at that level or better. So, guys, I do. I want to apologize to you guys real quick because I forgot to put up the lunch poll question of the day, DC.
Let's go. Put
But
it up.
we'll go
I'm
ahead
ready
and
to
put it
vote.
up.
Tell everybody I'm ready to vote.
We got a couple minutes before we slam the break. So let's go ahead and get the lunch poll question of the day in while we're waiting on that little time to pass. And that is, at work, what describes you? Right? At your job, what describes you? Do you start strong? Do you finish strong? Are you consistent across the board, or does it just depend? As you guys know, it's completely interactive. All you got to do is type whatever answer fits you in the chat, and it'll be registered there live on the screen. And man, I'm with this with DC. I think I'm leaning toward depends for some reason.
Mm.
It depends, man. Depends on how much I like the job.
I know, right?
Is it something I'm enjoying
Oh
doing?
man.
So I'm gonna go with depends. I'm gonna put depends in the chat. I think it depends.
Oh man.
Uh,
I'm working on mine. Let's see which one I'm gonna go with, man. Um,
Tim the Two Man said he's finishing strong.
So Tim the
I
Two
love
Man
I
come
love
in
the
slacking.
Marlo avatar too.
He come in slacking.
He said my mornings are rough till he
Mm.
get those 2 cups of coffee in him, and then he's
Okay.
good to go after that.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, till he get
Man,
that 2 cups of coffee.
I think I'm gonna have to go with consistent, man. I think I'm gonna go with
Consistent.
consistent. Yeah, man. I have to be
Okay.
consistent
Ant
on my
saying
job, man.
consistent as well too.
I have to be consistent on my job. I can't, start strong or finish strong. I can't do either one of those on the type of job I do. It has to be consistent, so everything just falls through, and you got a lot of chaos. So I
Mm,
have to be consistent in what I do and just own it at all times. If I don't,
I got you.
man, I'm the last line of defense. So things just will crash. For real,
I
for
got
real.
you.
We'll wake up and it'll be some problems if I'm not consistent.
So you the free safety of this
Yeah,
operation.
man, and it's rough, bro. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because it's like everybody do everything you do in the day, and then it's just like you have to catch all of the mistakes. Anything that
right.
happened during the day, you can't let anything fall through the cracks. So you
I
gotta,
got you.
you gotta be, you gotta deal with what's going on in the present, and also deal with what was done in the past, and then kind of be consistent across the board and catch everything. So can't be either, start or finish strong. Gotta be consistent, bro.
I got you. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
You got Tim checking in saying, "Hey, I literally can't slack, but I
Yeah.
started knocking stuff out like a machine in the afternoon." Yeah, man. It's amazing how coffee works, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a coffee drinker, but people who like Tim is saying, "Hey, you get those 2 cups in me, man," and I'm like a heat pump, man. I'm not, I can't miss. Uh, see, so yeah, you got little. It's even across the board, man.
Really?
Nobody's starting strong. We don't have nobody that gets up, gotta be to work at 8 o'clock, and then you walk in the door and you just soon as you walk in the door, that's your best time of day. Nobody in the chats like that. No strong starters in the building.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie,
um,
but y'all, pet peeve, just Tez. Sometimes strong starters make me mad, man.
it's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I thought it was just me. I thought it was just me, man.
It's
Golly,
annoying.
people that wake up in the morning and just ready to go. Yeah, let's get it done. I'm like, bro, just simmer down. Let me wake up. For me, it's a
Right.
process. Come on, man. Yeah,
Right,
he's
right, right,
just
right.
not a morning person. Yeah.
What?
Thought it
So
was just
Ant
me.
saying he's not a morning person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's see. We got I think 30392J came in the chat. Yeah, he did. What's good, man? Snuck in here, man. I ain't see
Yeah, he
you.
did.
Well, I
He
see you
did.
there.
What's up, Jay?
But yeah, man. Yeah, that is kind of annoying, man. Especially when you don't have you're not together all the way
Yeah,
yet, and
yeah,
they just
yeah.
like, man, all the way on 10.
Yeah,
It's just,
they ready, bro. I'm like, where did you get that from, man? It's
it used to
annoying,
be like
man.
that in school, man. You get that 8 o'clock
Yeah,
class, and you get that
yeah,
one person that's just like ready
yeah, man.
for it. Isn't it?
Yeah, man.
Like they would,
Yeah.
their life
See,
dream was to be in English class at 8 o'clock in the morning and ask questions.
right. Your life dream was to be standing out here at this cold bus stop, man. And you happy, I'm
Right.
sad. Come on, man. We barely woke. You know what I'm saying? With
Yeah, we
stuff on
freezing.
inside our. Yeah, you got here happy, man. Come on, man.
Tim the Two Man saying, "Why you trying to do so much that early in
Right,
the morning?"
right.
Hey, man.
Exactly, man.
Oh man, we got my guy Nick Frazier checking in saying he's consistent, man.
What up, Nick?
Consistent, man.
What up,
Hey,
Nick?
I can verify that. I've
For
worked with
sure,
Nick
man.
on
Yeah, man.
projects, and Nick is consistent.
Mr. Consistency, bro.
Yeah,
For
man.
sure. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So yeah, that's what we asking, man. Just what do we stand? How do you start your day? How do you start your job? Are you a strong starter, a strong finisher, consistent, or it depends? We
Mm.
have no strong starters so far. Absolutely none.
Bruh, good. Good. Bro, well, I guess you need those, Ted. Ted, you a coffee person?
No,
You
I'm
mentioned the
not.
coffee. You're not? Okay.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I just don't. I mean, by the time I get done with
Mm-hmm.
like coffee to the point where I can drink it, it's
Mm-hmm.
Kool-Aid. So it's like,
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
yeah, I'm not a
You see,
coffee
I'm
person,
like
man.
I'm a cream guy. So I'm the same way,
Okay.
but I put so much cream in it. It's not really what I do is not really coffee, bro. It's
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm
it's
saying.
cream and sugar with a little bit of coffee.
Yeah,
So
probably not that good for you
yeah,
either.
it is. No,
After you get done for
absolutely.
with it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, man. So yeah, so let's take a look at let's go ahead and so look everybody's saying consistent. That's great. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm the only person that put depends.
Mm-hmm.
And I put that simply because it just depends on the job, man. If it's
Mm-hmm.
something I enjoy doing, then I'm as consistent as ever. Uh
Mm-hmm.
but if it's, something I don't know. I think I could be in a sense a strong starter on
Mm-hmm.
certain things. Like
Mm-hmm.
if I'm just like I find something that I'm initially interested in,
Mm-hmm.
I'll start strong on a project, and then once I figure out, I like a challenge, man. So like once I
Okay.
figure out how to do something, it no longer interests me anymore.
Oh, got it. Okay, got
If
it.
that
Got
makes
it. Yeah,
sense.
you got yeah, you got people that just like need a challenge on their job, consistent
Yeah.
change, and then like so you couldn't be. Did you ever work at DP? And you know what I'm
No.
saying? Okay, I remember that was
No.
just one of those jobs where you just like okay, you got a screws and a drill, and you drill the
Yeah.
city in. You drill. That probably would drove you crazy,
Yeah, it probably would drive me crazy too. I don't know
dude.
if I could have done that.
I
All
got a
right,
question when
man.
you get a break, bro. I got a question for you when you get a break.
Okay. Okay. I tell you what, man. Let's go ahead and get ready to slam the brakes. And
Okay.
the best way to start our lunch break, man, we beat on the table around here. So
Yes, sir.
let's get to it. All right, there you have it. Lunch breaks have been engaged, ladies and gentlemen. And
Yeah.
let's go ahead and get into the topic here, man. This is gonna be
Let's do it.
interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about spring hype versus fall reality, so to speak. And our first poll question is already up, right? Want to know, what do you guys think? Spring hype, is it real or is it just content? Right? So when we're seeing these highlights, we're seeing these coaches talk about how they feel about their teams in the spring. Is that a real thing? Is this something that's tangible that we can take as evidence of what will come in the fall, or is it just content? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna explore that just
Mm-hmm.
a bit. Um,
Mm-hmm.
y'all, I got my notes here, so you have to bear with me on this. Let's see. So we got every spring, of course, every spring, everybody's hype. We already mentioned that part of it, right? You got coaches saying like this is the best group I ever coached. Teams look amazing. Maybe it's a
Mm-hmm.
position group say, "Oh man, this is the best wide receiver
Mm-hmm.
group that we've had here in a while." You get statements like that. You get very very definitive statements, man. Um, and everybody looks amazing. So but this episode, of course, asks the question: uh, Is spring practice just an elaborate job interview uh, that does not predict on field success,
Mm.
right? So
Interesting.
that's what we kind of comparing it to. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that employee that comes in and he's amazing in the interview process. He's amazing in the orientation and all the training.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know that guy,
Mm-hmm.
and,
Yes.
and then when it comes to actually getting the job done, the live bullets start flying. It's a completely different dude,
Mm-hmm.
completely different employee. So that's kind of our workplace comparison for this. Uh, how we're gonna address this. So, um, what do you think about that initially, man? We got people saying, and you're both in the chat.
Um.
I think I agree with both. I'm gonna put
Yeah.
both too.
Man, I'm both. I'm both, Tez,
Okay.
because and it depends on what team. I'm gonna say both because it depends on what team you're talking about. If you look at Georgia in the spring, and then they show you some highlight stuff, and if they show you this defensive end that's just running over tackles, you like, okay, Georgia is going to be a problem this year. If you see Georgia in spring and they have highlights, you like, okay, they're going to, it's real.
Right. Because
You
they
see what I'm
don't do
saying?
that.
So it depends on the team. Like what we've seen with Auburn in the last few years, the last, I don't know how many years, especially under Hugh Freeze, we see all of these one hand ballerina catches in practice and the offense
Right.
just so explosive. So, man, for Auburn, man, there's been a lot of just social media engineering. And then we
Right.
get to the season and it looks nothing like what's going on in practice. Maybe the defense, but they always spotlight the offense with these receivers, man, looking like, what I'm saying, they yellow coat guys just like catching everything and not dropping balls, catching balls with their feet. It's all kind of
Right.
crazy stuff. And we like, oh my God, it's the year. Woo, look at
Right.
Auburn. Get to the season, dog. They dropping balls. Quarterback can't, offense can't move. We scoring 3 points a game. So far, it depends on what team. Auburn, no, bro. So far, it's just been social media content. I've gathered they have a very good social media team. Also,
Oh, they do, man.
because
They
they can
do.
make a
Listen,
sorry, they make that
shout out
thing
to the
look like, bro,
Auburn
we about to win a
social
national
media team,
championship.
bro.
Yeah, but if I see that same thing at Georgia, Georgia finna be a problem, bro. We about to have a
That's a
problem
very
with
interesting
Georgia.
point, man.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting point. Depends on the team. Depends
Mm-hmm.
on uh the team. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel the same way, man. It did if I saw if I saw Georgia right now getting hype about a
Mm-hmm.
player, I would
Mm-hmm.
know like, man, that guy is gonna be for real. Because they don't typically do that. So this also brings up a very interesting idea of mine,
Mm-hmm.
and that is how much of a marketing tool do we think this is? How
Absolutely a
much of a
marketing
marketing
tool.
tool
Best believe it.
that we think this is? So hold that thought, man. Let's take a look at let's take a look at this real quick while we're talking about this. All right,
Okay.
so we got spring hype versus fall reality, right? And these are
Mm-hmm.
just some examples where the premise that we were talking about actually happened, right? So you got
Mm-hmm.
and of course there was two Texas A&M in 2022, the most famous probably the most famous spring lie in recent memory. Yeah, so
Okay.
that was the year they coming off of 8-4, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's when Jimbo Fisher had that number 1 recruiting class. It was the number 1 recruiting class
Yeah.
in the history of the metric. So
I
since
remember
they've
that.
been since they had been taking the stat, that was like the
Mm-hmm.
number 1 recruiting class of the entire since they've been, the been tracking the stat.
Mm-hmm.
The spring was full of hype. It was electric. Um, so they came out, they were ranked initially, I think 6th in the AP poll to
Mm-hmm.
start the season, preseason. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
6th. And most everybody expect them to at least finish top 4. Uh, so their spring narrative was that they were elite, right? This was
Mm-hmm.
gonna be an elite
Mm-hmm.
team. They brought in Max Johnson. Uh, they had a loaded defense, and but then when you look at what actually happened in that in that season, they lost 6 straight middle of the year, right? Dropped
Mm-hmm.
6 straight.
Mm-hmm.
And that happened to be the first 6-game skid since 1972, right?
Wow.
But for
Wow.
that team. Um, and they lost to unranked Appalachian State. Everybody remember that game
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
week 2 of the season. Finished 5-7, missed the bowl game. And of course, we know what eventually happened with Jimbo Fisher getting the boot, but making $77.5 million while getting the boot.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Largest buyout in college football history at the time, right? So
Mm-hmm.
for Texas A&M, man, you can look at there on the chart. Hey, they preseason all hype,
Mm-hmm.
everything was pointed, all systems go, and it ended, unceremoniously with an unranked record and a coach being fired. Then we move on to LSU. It's
Mm-hmm.
another example in 2023. Uh, Hype again. Hype got a coach fired mid-season.
Mm-hmm.
Another example, right? Brian Kelly. Actually, 2025 LSU is what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly came in. I don't know. This is maybe one of those examples where you just don't like a guy, right? Uh, But they were actually doing pretty decent. They had Garrett Nussmeier. He was up for the Heisman Trophy that year.
Yep,
A
sure was.
preseason Heisman Trophy candidate.
Mhm.
No, they had uh, one amazing portal class. Uh, they brought in Barryon Brown and Nick Anderson.
Mhm.
And the spring practice and all the narratives around spring practice was that they were a contender.
Yep.
They were ranked number 9 in the AP poll to start this season off. And so what happened in 2025? They were 82nd in scoring offense,
Unbelievable.
96th in total
Unbelievable.
offense, 122nd in passing offense, and that was through 8
Wow.
games.
Wow,
Uh,
man.
those receivers that were all hyped up, they didn't really do anything.
Wouldn't have never guessed that, man, with having Nussmeier returning and Brian Kelly, man. I thought that would be their year. I
Yeah.
thought they would
No,
make the
yeah.
playoffs
I
again.
think everybody did.
Yeah.
Everybody did. They lost to Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Kelly got fired, and they paid him $54 million to
Jeez,
quit his
man.
job. Well, he didn't quit, but
Jeez.
$54 million to go sit at home.
Wow.
Um, so there was that example, and okay, then you got 2023 LSU similar thing happened. Now, despite Jaden Daniels winning Heisman Trophy, um, that year they were hyped. That defense ended up being 108th in the nation
Mm-hmm.
nationally. Right? They didn't go to the SEC title game. Now, listen, it was a 10-3 season, but
Mm-hmm.
they were projected to be a top 5 team at the beginning of that year. They had a Heisman Trophy
Mm-hmm.
favorite
Yep.
at the beginning of that year.
Yep.
Um, and then I just go through the Tennessee one, and you can see that this was supposed to be the resurgence of Tennessee in 2023. Uh, Joe Milton was actually hyped.
Yep. Sure was. Yeah, they was coming off that good season too, man.
Yeah,
With Hendon
yeah,
Hooker.
straight off
Yeah.
that 11-win season from
Yeah.
Josh Heupel.
Mm-hmm.
I said from Josh Heupel like he took a snap, but that was his breakout season as a coach.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. And yeah, I remember people were saying that Joe Milton had the arm talent of a top 5 quarterback, right?
Oh yeah.
Like
Yep.
during that, he was the hype was real. This is all spring narratives, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What happened? 9-4.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, missed the college football playoff.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Joe Milton never really put it together consistency. Uh, they gave up 42 plus points in key losses.
Wow.
That breakout year that everybody expected, it didn't come to life.
Wow.
So and of course I can't leave out Auburn there. I gotta touch on that. And that was his recent, right?
Okay.
2 back-to-back top 10 recruiting classes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the spring hype last year
Mm-hmm.
was ridiculous, right?
Yes.
I still
Yes.
remember the graphic about our quarterback room that included Jackson Arnold.
Yep.
When it's the highest rated quarterback room in the country. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and what really happened, I think we all know 5-7 finish. Coach gets fired, 1-5 in the SEC. And here we are. Now, here we are again at another spring where we're hearing good things. Uh, so DC, what do you think about that, man? What do you think about these examples, man, of
Man, I think
these
they're
teams where hype got the best of them, I think.
bro. Excellent examples. Excellent examples, man. One thing I think about though, man, from an Auburn perspective is, and this is kind of scary, the anti narrative that usually pop up in the Auburn space. It usually, people fight it, but it usually comes true. And I'm gonna give you an example. Like last year, you remember when the narrative came out that Hugh Freeze like wasn't spending the time he should with the team and he was golfing. I remember that narrative popped up and people were just like, "Oh, it's nothing, man. Y'all over, reacting and everything." But it was like I don't know if that was his downfall, but it seems like that narrative, you know what I'm saying, carried through the
Mhm.
season and then people were still talking about that same narrative when he was let go.
Right.
Fast forward, and this is gonna sound crazy, but I want to ask you this: talking about
Mhm.
narratives, people are talking about Byron Brown's throwing motion and all this stuff. Does
Right.
is that and I'm just saying I'm not and I'm one of the persons like it don't make sense. It's stupid. Okay,
Right.
so let's get that out of the way. I think it's a stupid narrative. But with Auburn, man, in the last few years, the people that were naysayers starting these quote unquote stupid narratives, bro, they've been right.
Yeah.
They've
Yeah.
literally been at the end of the
Yeah.
season. We look back and like same way with my man God Body Science at the beginning of the season. Everybody was talking about this Auburn basketball roster and talking about how we had shooters on it. And, I was saying, bro, it's built more like the Detroit Pistons with length versus, what I'm saying, just true big men. And God was like, no, man, this ain't it. And the narrative he was talking about, bro, it was like it carried through the season and it proved out it was real. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder from an Auburn perspective, I'm kind of nervous, like from what the people are naysayers and people shut them down. What the
Right.
naysayers have been saying, bro, it has been true. And you know what I'm saying? So that's with this spring thing. That's what's kind of circling in my head. A lot of times, what the naysayers say about a lot of teams, they do come to pass, and they are right.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: do you think that the
Mhm.
negative narratives are a little bit more accurate
I do.
than the
I
positive ones?
sometimes yes. Some in Auburn's in the case of Auburn football, the negative narratives have been spot on. But it's like instead of just like listening and giving credence to the narratives, or at least entertaining them and having a good
Mhm.
conversation, bro, people just shut them down and say that they are just negative people. They're not supporting the program, and they're
Right.
not
Right.
real fans or they're
I got
trolls.
you.
You feel
I
what I'm saying?
got you.
So people just get shut out for things they see. I remember Travail, he was like, he saw a offensive line film, that they released. And dude, right
Right.
off rip, he was like, bro, our offensive line, that's not a good offensive line. Bro, people like jeered this dude off the internet. Just I'm
Right.
serious, man. They like, man, the way they hammered that dude, how you know off of a practice video and that, bro, they hammered dude. Dude was like, man, I'm just telling you what I see. The
Right. Right.
offensive line, they look subpar, man. I don't know what he saw, but what he saw was actually correct.
It's accurate.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it was very accurate in Auburn space, man. And I know people don't want to hear it, but in Auburn space, so far the naysayers rule, bro. What the
Right.
naysayers have been saying has been spot on. The
Right.
optimistic people, bro, we've been like wrong, honestly. So that's what kind
Yeah.
of like I'm like, dude, phew. Okay,
So,
I get kind of nervous with the naysayers. Now I kind of pay attention. Like, what did you say? Say it again. Okay, let me write it down.
yeah. So we got Ant joining us, man.
There you go.
Ant,
What's up,
what's going
man?
on?
Come on, Ant.
Oh, my bad, my bad. I
It
was
look like Tez won't let me on and then get on and don't
no,
say
no, no,
nothing.
no, 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 no. Hey, first of all, DC, don't start with me. Nah. Secondly, um, happy birthday to you, my boy.
Thank
Thirdly,
you. Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you,
DC.
belated. And happy birthday to Miss Tez.
thirdly,
Happy
Don't forget Miss Tez now, cause this her show.
yeah, happy birthday, Miss Tez. Thirdly,
But she's not
fourthly,
gonna like
sir,
that.
I was trying to find out where I'm going, man. I don't want to get lost in Texas.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Make sure
Okay.
you got
That's a good point,
make
It's
sure
Ant.
you know
hot
your
down here,
destination,
man.
man.
That's a good point. That's a good point, Ant. You excuse me.
Yeah,
Yeah, and always be safe on
I
that road,
gonna
man.
be I gonna be Mr. Opposite today. I'm the opposite of everything y'all saying today.
Uh oh.
Oh,
Uh
okay.
oh.
That is that. Hey, sometimes sometimes that's needed, man. That's why they have a vice president. A lot of people don't know
Okay.
that
What is
that
going
person is supposed to be
on?
opposed to the actual president,
So-
so that you get this checks and balance system.
yeah.
Uh,
Yes. Yes,
but
man.
yeah. So man, we just talking about these spring narratives and how accurate they are. DC brought up an interesting point. Like the negative ones have actually been the ones that go come true. Now, however, I will say this, DC.
Okay. Say it,
Um,
man.
I do think that negative narratives are like shorting stocks. I don't know if you familiar with when you short stocks,
Bro,
right?
I might short some when I get off the show, but go ahead.
They're always gonna go down.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I'm not saying
Mhm.
that you would just
Okay.
always win money shorting stocks. You
Mhm.
still have to have, you still have to be savvy with it. But there's
Mhm.
one guarantee is this stock is gonna fall.
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
it's just gonna happen. So I think like so a lot of the negative comments are just like that, man. Is
Mhm.
man, people know that something bad is going to happen
Mhm.
during the season. Even if you go, I'll put it to you like this: even if you have a very, very successful team, uh, and you win a lot of games, there are going to be some pitfalls and struggles, and something's going to come along the way that's not going to go in your favor. Um, and I think sometimes there are a lot of people who are just there for those moments because they know it's
Mhm.
going to happen. They know something's going to happen, and that even if the team is successful, they're still not going to be wrong.
Mhm.
All right. For example, like this year, if you look at Alabama, right? If you
Mhm.
were just a negative person and you came out and you just said, "Hey, man, this team we can't run the ball, such and such." Now, you're not saying that based on what you saw, but you're just saying it because you want to be right on that.
Mhm.
We can't run the ball, such and such and such and such. They end up making the college football playoff, but you still your negative point is still relevant, right? You
Mhm.
see what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Okay.
So like that's what I think about when I think about the negative points always being right about, just spring narratives and narratives in general. It's like it's kind of like short stocks. They always
Mhm.
going it's always gonna be there. It's gonna be something there.
Mhm.
Uh
I mean, you gotta have
what's
some kind of clickbait.
But no,
yeah, yeah.
but see, this is the thing. This is the difference with when you talk about. I'm not talking about being Prophet Deacon Def Jam. Just saying, hey Tez, you have a beard. I foresee that once you had no hair on your face. You know, I mean, I'm not talking about just a general prophecy that could come true. What I'm saying about the Auburn space has been specific to. You see what I'm saying? What it's been
Right, right, I got you.
okay. It's not a general just being negative. These people have been like straight pointing to what the issue was, and nobody listened.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's kind of the difference in the Auburn space to me. You know,
Oh,
y'all
they've
could
been
tell me,
negative.
huh?
Oh, they've
Yeah.
been negative. They've been negative.
It's
How have they been negative
By,
if they've
by,
been right?
Byron Brown has thrown for 3,000 yards with that ugly arm motion.
Right, but what? No, I'm not saying. I agree with you. And on I'm a Byron Brown believer, and I think it's doesn't the narrative is incorrect. But what I'm just pointing to is that when they talked about Hugh Freeze, not people were talking about it not being cohesive because they said playing golf. I don't know if that's true or not. People were pointing to the offensive line. Those things were
Oh,
true. They
you
weren't
talking about
being
that?
negative. They were like literally right.
Like Cam Coleman dropping passes, but certain people want to say, don't bash him. He's gonna be a great receiver at
little
Texas. Man, that man gonna drop. That man can't catch a
hey.
cold butt nigga on the ice blocking on Alaska.
Oh
Lord.
wow.
Anyway, I told you I'm all opposite today, bro.
Okay.
And man,
I'm
Okay.
all
and you
opposite today.
hey, we
Yes, sir.
you teasing the episode that I got playing about fan narratives.
Mm.
Man,
Fan
listen.
narratives. I may actually do that one next week.
Mm-hmm.
Uh
Okay. Well,
it's a
I'll
lunch
wait because
episode.
I got
I'm
a lot
hey,
more.
this one may offend some people actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be an interesting one. But man, so let's go ahead and that is an interesting point that Tim put up. You can short that stock, but it's sweet till that margin call comes.
Boy, that margin call, bro, is not a nice thing,
Oh
bro.
man. And got
So what you
Marcus
trying to say,
Fitzpatrick
bro?
in the building.
Huh?
Marcus,
There you go.
what's going
There
on,
you
man?
go. The
What up,
mayor.
Marcus?
He's telling the fellas happy birthday, man. Hey, make sure you guys when Marcus is in the building, I can go ahead and I can put this back up again. Boy's got his own show. Make
Mm-hmm.
sure you check him out tonight on
Unfiltered.
Water Cooler
Unfiltered
Talk
too.
Sports
Unfiltered.
Network. SEC Heat Check
He bringing
taking the
that heat.
pulse of the SEC.
Real.
He bringing that heat,
Ah,
man.
yeah. And as
Uncut.
DC said,
Uh,
it's unfiltered. So
unfiltered.
yeah, make sure
Just
you go check that
straight
out, man.
Marcus. Yeah.
This is just straight
We in a
Marcus.
trap. We in a trap over
Yes,
there.
sir. He saying in the trap.
Oh
We in a
man.
trap over there.
All right, man. So let's take a we got our first lunch poll results right there. Spring hype, is it real or is it just content? Got a lot of people saying, hey man, it's both, right? Actually not a lot. Everybody's saying it's both, it can be content and it can be a real thing. One of the examples that we mentioned was Auburn. Now I know that but I did want to give a shout out to Auburn's media team, man.
Mhm.
DC, every time I see one of these guys, I tell them how much of a great job they do.
Mhm.
Right. And I
Mhm.
see them almost everywhere. Uh
Mhm.
I make sure to tell them that because they do
Mhm.
such a good job, man. So
They do, man.
let it let's take a look at what we already had up here. Of course, we had our examples up here, a few examples of spring hype versus fall reality, where everything kind of was pointing up in the spring and then it kind of fell apart as the season started. So, what we want to ask the question is, why does this happen, right? Why does this happen to football teams, right? And we got some reasons why, right? Why uh, spring doesn't predict the fall, right? Uh, First of all, spring practice doesn't have an opponent, right?
Mhm.
You playing against yourself. Um, you kind of have no idea how your offensive line will hold up until somebody is scheming against them specifically.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That's always a battle. What do you have in the trenches, right? Is it a good offensive line and a bad defensive line? Is it a bad defensive line and a good offensive line? You kind of really can't tell. Um, and if you think about that in terms of like the workplace, like you can look great in training, but training does not have a deadline or a difficult client or a budget cut, right? Uh, the skill that matters the most of performing under these adversarial conditions uh is the one that was the one thing that the spring cannot it can't test, right? And that is how do you deal with the adversity of another team coming into your building and actually playing like, when you in spring, the guys are getting after it, don't get me wrong. But nobody's out there trying to inflict any real damage to people. You don't want to do that to your teammates. When you play these guys from across the country, they don't care about that, man. They trying to win. So it's one thing that you can't replicate in the spring. Um Also, this is a very, very interesting one right here. We kinda touched on this a little bit earlier, um, but coaches have a financial incentive, to hype spring. It's not talked about a lot, but coaches are selling in the spring, especially in this NIL era. Listen,
Mhm.
we've been following Auburn in the group chat. I think there's been a recruit. I think there's been multiple recruits at every single spring practice. Right. This is the opportunity to sell your program. Right. So NIL, the recruiting ticket sales, fan engagement. This is where coaches build excitement. This is where excitement around the program is built in the spring. Uh And what do you think of a coach? We had this episode before, if you look back on lunch breaks, or I think maybe the third episode. What do you think of a coach that comes in and he says, "Man, honestly, we got concerns." Right? Do you want
Mhm.
your coach to tell the truth? Right?
Mhm.
Uh, so you kind of you kind of have to choose in that way. Um, because a lot of times fans think that coaches that tell the truth are like destroying the momentum. That may be how it gets looked at internally.
Mhm. Mhm.
Uh, but make no mistake about it. A coach is professionally motivated
Mm.
by his job to sell his team in the spring. Right?
Mhm.
There's no question about it. Um, and so for that reason, spring practice ends up being like a highlight reel by design. Like we're
Mhm.
trying to reach. A lot of times it's not really meant for the fans. It's meant for the recruits. We're trying to
Mhm.
put a product out there that, hey, man, come play with this. Come play with this team. Come play with us. This is what,
Mhm.
we're able to accomplish. And to your point, DC, that you said earlier, the teams that don't need spring hype. are usually the ones that win.
Yeah, for
Right.
real, man. For real. For real.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, so what do you think about this, man? We got a couple of reasons what happens in the regular season, right? You got in the regular
Mm-hmm.
season, the opponent's game plan with you. Real injuries hurt death, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, there's no non-contact jerseys that you can just get through spring practice with. If you got to put on a non-contact jersey in a real game, that means you sitting on the sideline.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
uh, and I don't care how much volume you pump in with speakers, you cannot replicate 107,000 hostile fans,
Yep.
right?
That's true. Mm-hmm.
Um, and the scoreboard is honest. The last the
Mm-hmm.
scoreboard is honest, right? You know,
Mm-hmm.
mm, you win, you lose. Simple as that. So, what do you think about this, man? Some of these reasons of just why this happens, right? With spring
Yeah.
practice being such a controlled environment and the games aren't.
Yeah, man. I never really looked at it like, man, from a selling for fall. I never really like viewed it that way. I'm just happy football is here. But man, that is an excellent analysis. That if you look at it from an Auburn perspective, man, they are selling for fall. Man, they are doing this commercial to garner interest, to garner ticket sales, to accumulate money. So I agree with that, man. And it is real. You don't have the opponents or the injuries aren't actually real in spring like they are in the season, and you don't have the hostile crowds or adversity. So I definitely agree with that, man. Just I'm glad I'm here because I never viewed spring practice as a advertisement until now. I just looked at it as, man, this is
Mhm.
spring practice. It's cool. But you're right. The media team from Auburn and these other schools, man, they are taking advantage of this social media space, and they are leveraging that space to make their product look excellent in spring.
So, we got Ant popping in. Ant, what you think about that, man?
I mean, you have to sell your product to your potential future players. What a better time than the spring
Yeah,
when
I
they can
mean
get
it's
in here.
fair.
Yeah.
That we lost him.
Come on, man. Come on, Ant. Come on, Ant. Come
But I
on,
mean,
Ant.
to what Ant was saying though, he
Mhm.
what a better time than the spring. It's probably the only time that you can actually sell your program
Yeah.
for real. Like
Yeah.
the rest of
Yeah.
the year, you're trying to actually win games.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you're actually selling the program at those points.
Too late
Uh,
then, Tez. Too late then.
yeah,
We
yeah,
can we can we can actually see now. You can say what you want to say in these press conferences, but we can see it on Saturday, buddy.
yeah,
So,
yeah, and that's what one of the points is under regular season. The last one actually, the scoreboard is honest.
mm-hmm.
And no
Mm-hmm.
highlights, no curation. It's just the final
Mm-hmm.
score every Saturday. So like you can say
Mm-hmm.
what you want and all of that, but like at the end of the day, that scoreboard is gonna tell the probably the most important part of the story. It may not be the most important part, but it's the part that matters the most.
Man, it is.
Uh when it comes to the season. Now of course we did discuss nuances as fans. We go back and forth about why this happened and why that happened, and I think everybody does, right? Make no
Mm-hmm.
mistake about it. Nothing's black and white. There's no coach that's just you can't be. I don't think you could be a good coach if you're not asking yourself why these things are happening to my
Mm-hmm.
team,
Mm-hmm.
and exploring the nuances. But at the end of the day, we play a game that's about wins and losses.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't hide from that.
Mm-hmm.
And in the spring, you can hide from that. You can do things like have a spring game where you orchestrate how the scores are going to be taken
Mm-hmm.
and all kind of stuff like we had. Like I don't know, uh, man, but I just thought it was an interesting, concept to explore.
It
Um,
is, man. It is.
so let's take a look at this, man. Let's take a look. Let's fast forward. I think we got Ed on here twice.
Yeah,
Oh,
it looked like
let's
it.
see. He'll pop back in. It says no connection, but he'll pop back in.
I
Let's take a look
wonder
at this.
why. Mm-hmm.
Mhm. let's let's look at let's look at some examples of some teams. that may that have some current spring narrative, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And let's see what we have here. Now currently these are some narratives that could fail,
Okay.
right? And
Okay.
some of the reasons that they could fail.
It's interesting.
Uh you got the Lane Kiffin era beginning
Mhm.
at LSU. New coach, the roster on paper is amazing. Now, this is
Mhm.
one of those that could fail
Mhm.
uh because the bar is so high. So failure for Lane Kiffin looks like success for a lot of coaches.
Yep.
If that makes sense.
Mhm.
Um, so you got that Lane Kiffin story there. Um, in like I said, on paper they look great. The name alone, Lane Kiffin,
Mhm.
is generating a lot of hype.
Mhm.
But there's some red flag. New coach, new chemistry. That all takes time. I don't care how good of a coach you is. I mean, you are. It takes time to build chemistry.
Mhm.
Um, his Ole Miss roster was pretty good, right? His all offensively, they were elite.
Mhm.
Almost every
Mhm.
year that he was there. Uh, he was able to leverage the portal at Ole Miss very, very well. But there's that transfer. So, like, the hype is real. We're already seeing the hype at LSU. We know come spring game, it's going to be fireworks. It's going to look great. But pay attention to that one really, really closely because it may not, I'm not sure. We're not sure about that. Well, I'm not sure about that. You guys can tell me in the chat how you feel. Um, and then also you got Tennessee right there, and you know you got a freshman quarterback battle going on there, right? If you watch Water Cooler Talk Sports, Nick has been doing a great job of illustrating that battle at Tennessee, um, where you got George, where you got McIntyre and what's his name, Brandon,
Mhm.
Faison Brandon,
Mhm.
in that room, both freshmen after of course Joy Aguilar was denied. We don't know what's up with that situation. Maybe he, I don't know. It seems like these denials and approvals are fluid, so I'm not gonna
Mhm.
close the door on it. But as of right
Right.
now, he's not gonna be with Tennessee. And in the SEC, a freshman in the center, is this thing that is taboo, so to speak. And you can argue that Heupel's on the hot seat, right?
Mm.
I don't know
Why?
why, but
Yeah. Why
you
was he
could
on the
argue
hot
that.
seat? Yee.
Uh,
Ah.
one bad stretch of conference games, and all of a sudden,
Mhm.
he may be looking for another job,
Wow, man.
right? Uh,
Yeah, that would be
then we
crazy.
got Auburn there. Of course, we know uh new coach, new energy around the program. Uh, I haven't seen the words Auburn is back, but I felt it. I have felt it. I felt it from everybody that talks about this program, except for Travell, actually. Travell
Mhm.
has been very vocal that
Mhm.
pump the brakes a bit. But
Okay.
everybody else is pretty confident about
Mhm.
where Auburn is going, right?
Mhm.
Um, but of course there's red flags in that where, you know, Golish is making the jump from the SEC to the SEC from a group of five school. And as much as I like to say that, like, it won't matter as
Mhm.
much, I do have to, like, in the ACC, you're not gonna have to play Georgia, Texas, Oklahoma,
Right. Right.
Tennessee on the road,
Right.
right?
Right.
Uh, chemistry in the spring does not translate to toughness in October.
Mhm.
So so what
Mhm.
we're seeing from Auburn, yeah, I see a lot of the chemistry being built,
Mhm.
but when that adversity hits and you have to, in October of that schedule, you get to the meat of that schedule. What is that team made out of? That's yet to be seen. We're gonna be watching that one closely. And lastly,
Mhm.
we got Florida. This is also a new coach, John Summerall, extremely hyped, fresh
Mhm.
start. Everybody's excited about that program, but he's facing some of the same things that Golish is facing, where we need to watch that. Uh, and he has that quarterback situation as well. Lagway is no longer there. He's at Baylor now, and Samurai's never coached at this level, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Lagway replacing the Lagway is not a spring practice. It's not a spring practice problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a September through November problem. That's when you're gonna have to determine whether Philo can replace a DJ Lagway. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, he probably can do it right now, but when the live bullets start, can he handle that? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Can Philo go down there and handle the LSU or Georgia? That is some things to watch. And these are all, I would say, maximum or high risk or watch closely
Mm-hmm.
uh narratives to be aware of, where you got a lot of spring hype now, but it may not end as well as some other situations.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about that, man?
Yeah, I think when you have like and I go through these, you're like LSU, uh, they could do well or they could fail because man, just because you did it at Ole Miss doesn't mean you're gonna do it at LSU, man. The culture set is gonna be a little different because at Ole Miss you can just say, man, it's us against the world. We've never done it before. We need to break these barriers. With LSU, man, when you go there, they've already done it. So what is your message is going to be to keep that type of momentum going? With Tennessee, like we know this is Josh Heupel, it's uncharted territory for him, as far
Right.
as quarterbacks are concerned. So it could fail right there. Florida, man, same thing with Summerall. Just because you did it at a Troy and a Tulane does not mean you're going to do it on the SEC level, man. So that could fail in that way. And then from Auburn, of course, bro, we leaning on that Byron Brown and the USF connection, and then them, being efficiently coming in because they have familiarity with each other. But what if the offensive line fails? You know,
Right.
we know the play calling and the system can work on this level, but can you gather the personnel to do it on this level is the question for Auburn, and that could fail as far as a personnel perspective. You might not be able to get in the personnel you need to make the system work.
Mhm. Yeah, man. I agree with everything you said, man. I agree with everything you said. And for that reason, man, what we're gonna do when we got Ant coming back? Let's see, got
Mm-hmm.
Ant in here, and what we're gonna do real quick while we have this is we're gonna move to our poll. So, of those examples
Mm-hmm.
that I just put up on the screen,
Mm-hmm.
which of those teams would you say is the biggest fraud
Ooh.
right now if you had to call it? Which one seems more hollow to you guys? And you guys know you can vote by just typing the answer in the chat of which one you want to vote for. Which of these teams are these examples do you think that, you know, their hype this spring may not uh translate into what everybody is expecting in the fall? This is no surprise if you've been watching me. I'm going to vote for LSU. I just think that what it's
Oh.
hyped up to be is not going to be what it turns out to be. And again, you can vote by just typing your answers in the chat. Uh, we got to vote for Florida. Yeah, Florida's a good one too, man. Florida's a good one. Only reason I would pick LSU over Florida is because 9 games, and if Florida wins 9 games, that would be exceeds expectations.
Mm-hmm.
If LSU wins 9 games, that's going to be considered a failure based on how it was hyped. It's kind of like the Arch Manning narrative, right? If
Mm-hmm.
if Arch Manning was not hyped as a Heisman hopeful
Mm-hmm.
preseason, we'd be looking at him like 3,000-yard passer, won 9 games. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But because he had so much hype, man, people look at it as a failure, and also the fact that he did throw the ball directly into the ground a couple times.
Mm-hmm. True. True.
So there's
True.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So you voted for Florida,
Yeah,
DC.
I'm going
What
Florida too. I'm
and
going
and
Florida.
Ant did too. What do you think? Why so Florida?
I'm going Florida because if just by the process of elimination, you look at LSU. We know Lane Kiffin, that system, even though we know it could fail because of cohesion or messaging, it has worked, and his formula has worked in the SEC and been very successful. So, and then you couple that, man, with the type of money he is getting to build this roster. It's all-star roster star, So we know he has the equipment to, to do what he needs to do in this process. So that's why I put them to the side. Auburn, we looking at, yeah, they are new and they haven't been on the SEC level as a whole program, but we know
Mhm.
that he has done it at Tennessee, plus he's done it at USF, plus he's bringing his whole staff and players with him. So I think he has a little more cohesion than Florida has. When you look at Tennessee, we know Josh Heupel just has done it, and to me, he's getting into the lane with Kirby Smart. Like, I have to see him not do it. We talked on the Sunday show. We talked about, I think it was a Sunday show. We talked about Josh Heupel's record,
Right,
and
right.
then his consistency over time. Um, since he's been at Tennessee, he's not won less than 7 games. So we've seen Josh Heupel do it year after year after year. I'm putting him in the category of Kirby Smart. So that leaves Florida by process of elimination. You have to look at Florida, man. What are they bringing that rivals any of these other programs? They're not bringing like this great consistency. We've
I got
not
you.
seen him do it in the SEC. Couple that with building a new culture, new team, new staff. You know, I have to just pick Florida by process of elimination.
Mm. Yeah, I will. I yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, the only reason I went with LSU is
Mm-hmm.
just because the bar is gonna be so high.
No, that makes sense, man.
I mean,
Makes sense.
you know, you know,
That makes sense.
the people at LSU are expecting what happened at Ole Miss.
Sure.
They're expecting
Yeah.
a continuation of that. All
Mm-hmm.
right.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
want you to pick right back up where you left off there. We don't they're not gonna want to hear he's got to get his guys.
Mm-hmm.
He's none of that. They're not gonna want to hear that. But yeah, so you guys let us know in the chat, man. Just type which of those teams you think is the biggest spring fraud. Uh and all you gotta do is type the name of the team in the chat. And these aren't just random teams. These are teams that were a part of this graphic where we kind of decided to take a look at some spring narratives that may actually go awry.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so you guys can vote on that in the chat. Um, let's see here. Let's see if we got Ant back in the building. Ant, you hear us?
Yeah.
Mhm. All right, man. So you voted on this for let's see. You voted for Florida,
Florida.
man. You and DC, you had the same vote. So I assume for some of the same reasons that DC said, and we lost him. Oh, there he is.
What the?
Is but yeah, is it for the same reasons that DC said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Okay.
got me in tears today, boss.
But it's funny. Yeah. So
Man, I'm
no.
fighting, man. I'm fighting.
At least you here, man. At least you fight that, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
So we got no votes for Tennessee, no votes for Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody thinks that hype is real. So
Mm-hmm.
we're going to you got Tim the Two Man also voting for Florida, saying, hey man, that's fraudulent what they putting out there in Florida. It's not gonna work.
They
It's not gonna
capping.
work.
They
Yeah,
capping in Florida.
capping. They're capping. Oh man, that's funny, man. All right, so we're gonna move on to another poll question, man, before we get up out of here. And this one it's real simple. Do you think the best spring equals the best fall? Do you agree with that? Do you disagree with that? I think it's registering for my last vote there when I put the pins, but I because I
DC.
don't agree with this. I don't. So
It's
I'm
DC
gonna.
fault.
It says DC fault. I'm gonna
You bet.
I'm gonna put depends, right? I mean, I'm gonna put disagree. I disagree with this. So I disagree
Best
uh
spring, best
that
fall.
that your best spring equals your best fall. In fact, I highly disagree with it. And you too can vote by just typing the word of whichever one of these options in the chat that you aligns with how you feel about it. Do you agree that the best spring equals the best fall? Do you is it depends or there's some nuances to it? Do you just flat out disagree? I flat out disagree. Or if you just be honest, if you never thought about it, just type, "Hey, man, I never thought about it. I never really thought about that." Uh, so you can vote on that uh in the chat right now. So, I disagree. I've already kind of detailed why I do this. I did disagree. If you just joined us, I'll put it back on the board so everybody can kind of see why spring does not uh equal the fall. Again, in the spring, you don't have a real opponent. There's no live tackling for real. Uh, you can't really replicate crowd noise, right? I don't care how many speakers you use, you're not gonna replicate Death Valley at all. And then you the talent that you bring in, of course, they look polished because, eh, they're just running routes on air. Everybody looks good. Uh, and then one of the most interesting points I think uh that we discussed was like this is a selling period for coaches. Coaches have an incentive, both financially and personally, to sell their team during spring practice and to make everyone believe that this team is going to be amazing. You really don't hear a lot of coaches coming out and saying, "Nah, we don't. It's going to be okay." You know. So those are some of the reasons there. And then, when the live bullets start to fly, you know, you you got real opponents that game plan for you each and every week, right? Real injuries that hurt your depth. There's no such thing as a non-contact jersey in the fall. All right. And then you got all those fans, and then the adversity exposes everything. Uh it, it- because one of the things that doesn't happen in the spring is I take Alabama for a case for a point that I want to make here, and that point is after that Oklahoma game, everybody just rinse and repeat.
Mhm.
Right, that doesn't happen in the spring. You can't game plan for that in the spring. If you think about it, after that Oklahoma game, and Oklahoma kind of exposed a few chinks in the armor of how to attack this team. Every team after that just did the exact same thing the entire year. So like that's one of the things that you can't replicate in the spring, man. Um, so it looks like everybody disagrees with that. Yeah, the best spring does not equal
Mhm.
the best fall.
Mhm.
And let's see. I think this may be the final poll.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's reset the results on here because they're picking up from the last one. It should register here in a second. And it is do coaches oversell the spring on purpose? So this is aligned with the point that we were making, man. Do you think that that happens? Do you think it's purposeful? Or do you think it's, are they actually overselling spring? How you guys feel about that? You guys can vote on that in the chat. Uh I think yeah. I'm gonna go with yes. 100% yes. They are overselling uh this in the spring. DC, you went with sometimes.
Sometimes.
I think I know why you said
Yeah.
sometimes, but you can tell us.
Yeah. As I said before, if Nick Saban tells me, man, yeah, I got a pretty good team. This is a championship type year. I'm just turn the TV off and be like, bro, it ain't no use in me watching the season. Because Nick Saban just said his Alabama team looks like a championship team. Even he said it the year he retired. He was like
Yeah.
that following year, the year Kalen DeBoer took over, he was like, I thought that was a championship type team. So if Nick Saban, if Kirby Smart comes out and say, man, woo, I haven't seen us look this good in a while, guys, and we really getting after it. I haven't seen a defensive end bend the edges like Amaris Williams in a long time. Man, if he say that, bro, you take it to the bank. You know what I'm saying? So I say sometimes with it, but what coach do you see that is like, man, our team just trash, bro. We gonna be terrible this year. Nobody, nobody, man. So that's why I'll say sometimes. Sometimes coaches do because you can't just say your team is trash because people not gonna show up and buy season tickets. You know what I'm saying? So you got to
Yeah.
people not gonna support NIL. So you got to sell it. So I agree. That's why I say sometimes. But sometimes, depending on who says it, bro. Some people I don't want to say it because I'm like, bro, we about to have a terrible season down in Auburn. So don't
Yeah.
want Nick Saban to say he went to Alabama and they look like that's the championship team. Don't want Nick Saban
Yeah.
to say that.
The thing about it too is like when coaches do tell the truth,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times the fans don't even believe them.
I agree with that too.
So it's Dwight coming in. He says,
So
"Hey,
what
fans oversell the spring."
Ooh, that's good. That's good. They do. Fans definitely do.
wouldn't that make it complicated?
Mm-hmm.
That would, that would,
Mm-hmm.
that would make it complicated
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
And then
Because
and then for what we done went through,
Mm-hmm.
for sure, because
it's
I'm telling you
very
right now,
complicated
if
because we're
this
close.
if the Auburn experiment falls apart, the
Mm-hmm.
entire fan base is gonna completely forget that the coach asked us to pray for the offensive line.
Yeah, man, that's what I
Like
said.
it's going to happen. I'm telling
I'm
you.
like,
No,
bro, well,
I
he
don't want to say
listening.
that.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that. Let me take that back. I'm not gonna say it's going to happen because it's
Yeah.
going to work. We're not
Yeah.
gonna put that out there. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying, if
It does.
indeed
Yeah.
there is some troubles along the way
Yeah.
offensively for Auburn, the entire fan base, well, except for us, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, is gonna totally forget about the fact that our head coach asked us to pray for this offensive line.
Yeah. And this is
But
a
it's a but
this
it
is an SEC show, but and it's not Auburn centric. Just kind of talking about Auburn right now. But if you
Right.
notice, he said the same thing when he was talking about the defense versus the offense and how it's looking so far. He was like,
yeah.
listen to him, bro. It's like, and I know
Yeah.
it's just spring second week, but man, the offense has a ways to go, bro. He was just talking glowingly about the defense and how that they just, man, they good. So
But
you
but
gotta
that's
pay
how it's
attention,
supposed to
man.
be. That's how it's supposed to be in spring, though. Your defense
Hmm.
always supposed to be better than your offense.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that.
That's true.
If it's vice versa, it's on. You got a long season ahead of you,
Hmm.
You might have some
or
problems
you
on your
can
hands.
be, or you can be like Hubert and just keep saying we close week after week.
Oh my
You know.
God. Yeah,
That's true.
but you have to like listen to the messaging too. It's like if he keeps stacking these messages on top of messages, and then he start like throttling down on, well, yeah, we're gonna see what we just gonna have to see what it does, bro. You know what I'm saying? Whoa. You know what I'm saying? When he keeps stacking messages, like this is kind of the second time he's talked about it. First, it's like, let's pray for the offensive line. Then it's like,
Right.
oh, we ain't looking that good out there. You know,
Right, right.
I
if he
mean,
keeps
but
stacking messages, you got to pay attention.
yeah,
Right,
but you
right.
know, you should. Well, since we're talking about us, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, everybody should have a little glimmer of hope
Mm-hmm.
because he's naming offensive linemen that he think is doing good this spring, like
Mm-hmm.
Joseph Simmons and Plaids and Best. He's trying to build an offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
When you
Mm-hmm.
got 20 players, you just can't sit up here and be like, oh, them five right there gonna go good together because you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But you got plenty of opportunity with 20 players to find the best five you can that's gonna work great together.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So let me ask y'all this: do y'all think that like coaches, um, do you think it would hurt in transfer portal and recruiting, specifically recruiting, because the recruiting class is actually going on while spring practice is going on? What effect do you think it would have on recruiting if coaches didn't oversell their programs? Like if they didn't build any spring hype around their program. Of course, now we've already pointed out that like teams like Georgia, they really don't have to do that
They
because they've
don't.
already got that built-in
Right.
tradition of
Right.
like, trust me, if Georgia, if Kirby call your phone,
Mm-hmm.
the kid is gonna answer. Like
Mm-hmm.
he gonna take that
Hmm.
call, and if the situation is correct, he's gonna make that trip too. So, but look, in terms of
Mhm.
everybody else not named Kirby Smart, um, how do you think that affects recruiting if a program decides like, nah, we don't want to hype the spring up. We're not gonna put out videos. We're not gonna show the highlights to the fans. We're not gonna speak positively about this. We're just gonna, you know, let the spring go by. Do you think that has an effect on recruiting directly?
Absolutely, man, because these kids are watching social media. You got to leverage social media, whether you like it or not. If you don't, I don't think you're smart. If you're not in a Kirby Smart situation, I don't think it's smart if you don't leverage social media, man. You gotta put out content. You gotta put out information. You gotta shape a narrative in these kids' heads that we are winners and you want to be at Auburn. You gotta drive that message. So, man, if you don't, you know what I'm saying? You not in the new this era. You somewhere in the
Right,
Bear Bryant era, bro. You better get on this social media
Mhm.
and you better put out content. And it better be good content too. Something that's gonna capture these kids' imagination and keep them engaged with your program. Because we know it's like, bro, we're in the swipe culture. So these kids are gonna swipe you off quick. Top five? No, bro, I got a new top five. You better stay
right.
engaged with these kids, man. So I don't think it's smart if you don't.
Yeah, yeah. Me neither,
I
man.
I I just say like for everybody not named Kirby,
Mm-hmm.
spring is where everything starts. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where you get your base installments and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So when you bring your recruits in, right? This is what they have to go through next year.
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm,
have to start in the spring with workouts, practice. This is where everything starts at. So you got to let them see that. You got to let them know, you know what I'm saying? We're building something better here year by year. And if they don't like what you got going on at the program, then you know they're gonna automatically drop it. But if they
Mm-hmm.
never
that's
see it, then they could never know.
That's right. That's right.
that's true. That's
That's
true.
right.
Proof of concept is what you're putting on there.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but
Right.
yeah, man, we probably get ready to get up out of here because looks like lunch breaks are about to be over. But um, from this episode, one of the things that stands out to me is like if you guys don't take anything else, I do want people to understand that spring highlights, spring narratives. There's a lot going on. Season tickets go on sale in the
Mm-hmm.
spring, right? There's an
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
incentive. There's an
Yep.
incentive for not just. It's kind of like what Dwight said when Dwight said that fans oversell the spring. I give you. Yeah, I think that is true to a degree, but I think
Mm-hmm.
that we don't understand that like who some of these narratives in the spring are being targeted to. Um, and I think as a fan, you have to understand that. Like, you have to understand that, like, no, these we're trying to sell season tickets. A, we are trying to get sponsorships. NIL is a very, very integral part of the space now. You see logos on fields, you
Right.
see logos on jerseys. We trying to put something out that we can get sponsorship money from. And on top of that, to Dwight's points, fans don't want to hear we close.
That's right.
Right, right.
That's right.
And you're recruiting
Uh-huh.
young kids to your program that you have to put a product out there. Like I said, every single practice that we've talked about, there's been a huge number of recruits.
Mm-hmm.
Um, More so than I've seen in the past. These spring practices have turned directly into recruiting tools. So it's a lot more than what you see in the spring than just oh man, we putting some highlights out there and my team looks good. Like,
Mm-hmm.
nah, it's a plan in place.
Yeah.
Uh, and some of that comes from the top down. The university has an incentive. And we got to get these tickets
Mm-hmm.
sold,
They
man. We
do.
need butts and seats.
They
At
do.
the end of the day, I mean, whether you win or lose, you want people to fill your stadium up.
Yes,
So,
sir. Yes,
um,
sir.
and I guess, speaking for Auburn, that's work.
Mm-hmm. That's a
'Cause I
job, bro.
mean, I mean,
Yeah.
what we? I mean,
That's a job.
how many sellouts we've had?
Man, so I don't even
Man,
know.
every
Versus
year
how
for
many
5
games have we
losing
won?
seasons.
5 losing seasons, all sellouts, bro. So that tells me they're
Yeah.
doing a magical job as far as
Yeah,
promotion,
man.
advertising, leveraging media. They are doing an excellent job because they
But
are
but
like
you know what,
filling the
Toe?
stadium in a famine, man. It's just it's unprecedented what they're doing. So shout out to them,
You,
man.
Mhm.
you know what also told me something, DC?
What's
When
that?
you got your first game in Atlanta.
Yeah.
We had 5 losing seasons, bro. And we're gonna be on a national stage in Atlanta for game one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. It's the perception that Auburn is definitely different than
And,
the reality, bro. It's
Right,
definitely
right,
different.
right.
right.
Yeah,
And
man.
for everybody being mad about that game, bro, y'all chill out. It's for NIL purposes, man.
Yeah, and
And
Yeah.
we gonna
we
complain, but
need
we
it.
gonna be there. We gonna complain, but we gonna be there.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, we listen, the powers that be, they know the budget better than I do. So I'm gonna let them do what
Right.
they do. And I'm gonna watch that one on TV. It should be must see TV. It should be a battle of two quarterbacks that got to roll the ball all game. So I don't know how that's gonna go.
Auburn by
But
30.
Over by 30. Hey, Golish made the statement. He
yeah,
made the
yeah,
statement.
he did.
He made the statement. So
All right, guys, we got to get up out of here, man. This has been a fun one. It's been a fun one. Let's
yeah,
go ahead
awesome, man. Awesome.
and cue this outro, man. We get ready to get up out of here, man.
Yeah.
We got to talk about spring practice hype versus the fall realities. Put some examples up. Got everybody's opinion on it. And I guess we determined that, hey, man, approach these spring practices with caution. Understand it. Understand when you're being marketed to, because a lot of that is going on in this space, man. But this has been a fun episode. You guys, you will find me again. SECZN will be back live again Tuesday night on SECZN Live, where we are taking on week three of the season, getting your predictions, picking each and every game. Should be a ton of fun doing that. This guy, Tim the Toon Man said Ted's gonna have people on getting a point for being late for lunch. Hey man, that's what I'm trying to get up out of here. I don't want you to be late. But yeah, man, we're gonna be back live on Tuesday, picking each and every SEC game. That should be fun. Then maybe we'll take a break and do some fun stuff because I want to stretch that out, right? So I'm not just gonna do all the games weeks back to back to back. So we'll do some fun stuff, maybe some trivia, something like that. I hadn't decided yet, but it should be fun. Then of course we got next week we're gonna be doing lunch breaks again. We'll be back here again with a different topic. I'm not sure which direction I'm gonna go in, but I think maybe this time I want to talk about the fans. May talk about the fans in this one. I don't know. It should be interesting. But man, DC, tell the people where to find you at, man.
Hey man, you can find me at Auburn_Addicts on all platforms at Auburn_Addicts TV. On YouTube, man, check us out Sundays at 6. Auburn News Today, aka Have You Heard? And man, shout out again to Miss TJ, Mrs. Tez. She's not gonna like it, Tez. I'm not concerned,
Nope.
Tez. I'm not concerned, Tez. I'm not concerned
Nope.
because
She's not gonna like
Tez
it.
got
One
it.
bit.
Tez got it. Tez got it under control. So this Tez, I'm not scared because I got Tez. Why would I be scared? I got Tez. So shout out to you, happy birthday.
Oh man, happy birthday to you, man! Happy birthday to you, everybody! If you have not typed happy birthday to these guys in the chat before we get out of here, man, wish them a happy birthday, man. It's just a lot of March babies. Yeah, man. Yeah. Ant, man, tell the people where to find you at out there on the road, man.
Man, somewhere in Texas today.
Somewhere in Texas, man.
Tell
We
Cam
might have to
say
get
hey,
you.
man.
Yes, sir.
Tell Cam call me say hey, man.
We might have to get an ant tracker, man.
Yeah, for real, man.
Be all over the place, man. We might have to I might make that to happen, man. Get an ant tracker. All right, guys. This has been a fun one as always, man. We will see you guys on the next one. As always, it is SECZN. And that's it. Breaks off. Go clock back in. We out.